Good morning, guys. This is Paula back to do a video where we just craft. And I have a lot of things prepared that I haven't put together that I've just been inking. And so I thought we could do it together. So if it's not something you're interested in, you can move on to another video or hang in there with us, because we are going to do a couple things that might be different that I'm doing. This is for the Christmas story. It's a beautiful themed burgundy. Some people might call it maroon, but it has more of a plum look to it. But it's going to be beautiful. I have pulled a lot of vintage pages to put in this book. The images are wonderful. There's children's music sheets, just various nativities, like a cookie nativity, and on and on. So, some old vintage Christmas cards. There's a couple in this book. Okay, so this is the second signature that we're working on right now. This is the center of the book, and I'm not done yet because there's going to be some sparkle, some glitter in that part. But I'm going to work on a pocket for this book. And I've got to find it. I had it here a second ago. So it's going to be on the back side, right here. Now, I'm trying to decide if I wanted it here or here, and this is bigger, so I'm going to pull this section out so we don't get glue on anything of importance, and turn it like this so I know it's upright. Okay, so I've already made my tags for this particular project and my journaling cards. This is the journaling cards. And I've put coffee stained paper on the back. And this is the tags. And I've put washi on those. And the gold. Gold is, I had initially thought I was going to do silver, but it fell into gold. So that's different. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I ran out of big paper for this book, and let me get the first signature so I can show you how it turned out. So I ran out of big paper when I put the pocket in the other book, or the other signature. I had enough paper, but this time I didn't, and so I'm going to tell you the measurements of how to correctly do this. Basically, this is this front right here, which is 3.5 inches wide. Okay, this is the width, and then I scored on what was left of this particular paper. But what you'll do is you'll just cut one long paper. So you'll cut 3.5 inches, or you'll measure 3.5 inches plus 2 plus 2, which is going to make 5.5 inches total. Okay. And then you're gonna, I'm sorry, that's totally wrong. I'm sorry, give me a second. It's gonna be 7.5 inches tall or long, however you wanna say it. And then this center portion is going to be 3.5 inches. And then you're gonna have 2 inches on each side of the scored line. So I'll show you how it turns out. So I was right the first time, I just wasn't sure. This is how it's going to turn out. I'm just going to look and make sure you can see it in the video. Okay. Let me pull it out for a minute. Okay. This is the top here, obviously. And you want to always make sure your image is up. So what I did is I cut 7.5 across. And then I folded it here, and then I glued it together in the back before I put it on the book. And it was kind of like a cylinder. It was open on both ends. And see, I did the little half punch circle. And then I just measured in the middle and I took it to my machine and I stitched it. Now it wasn't on the book yet. And then I stitched it across the bottom. And then I went back to the table and I put glue under this portion. And I put glue under the back portions except on the right side or the left side. I hope this isn't confusing to you because it's really very simple. And I could grab a big piece of paper and show you. I think I'll do that. Let me grab one. Hold on. It doesn't match the kit, but it will give you an idea. Okay, now this one obviously is not 7.5, but we're going to use it as an example because you can make it any height you want. Okay, so I'm going to cut enough to make this cylinder. This one I'm piecing because I want to use this paper, but this one is you're going to cut 7.5 inches. Okay, toss that over there. Now you're going to get your score tool and you're going to score at 2 inches on the right side. Okay, then you're going to flip it around and you're going to score 2 inches on the other side. That's how it should turn out. Yeah, and you've got 3.5 inches here. Now, if you want this 3.5 inches right here to be smaller, then you score closer and cut less here. However you want to do it. You just want to make sure that when you fold it back, see, I'm folding it back, you want to be able to close it and just put one little line of glue right here and seal it. But you're not doing anything with the ends. They're open, okay? Then you're going to measure to the center and just draw a very light line. Go to your machine, stitch it. And then after you do that, you can stitch it to the book or you can stitch it before you glue it into the book. Stitch down this bottom. Okay, then you're going to take it to your book. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you as if you're doing it, okay? You're going to take it to your book. Now, this is shorter. And you're going to put it right here, and you're going to run glue under here. Now, remember, this is where you stitched, and this is where you stitched. And then you're going to run glue under the bottom portion that is glued. So it's like a cylinder, see, when it's glued. You're going to glue under this portion around, let me show you. You're going to glue down the middle where you put the zigzag, down the bottom where you put the zigzag. And then you're not going to glue here, you're not going to glue here. And then you can glue down both sides, leaving this open for pockets. And that will make more sense to you. See, here's our pockets on each end. It's just an open cylinder that's been flattened out and scored and then stitched down the middle, and so you end up with 4 pockets on there. So that's what we're going to do. And let me get this back in correctly because I won't remember later where it goes if I don't. Okay, that was in signature 1. So we're going to work on signature 2 right now. Okay, so because I didn't have enough paper, I had to kind of piece it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run glue. Let me see if I did it right. We're about to find out if I did it right. Yeah. See, now this is pieced. It's not going to be seen because it's going to be glued down. So, let me get my glue, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Nobody's going to see it, in other words. So you're going to run your glue. Once you get it to come down to the end of your bottle, you're just going to run your glue across here. You don't need a whole lot. And let me center this up. It may not center up, and that's okay, because the main thing is that it's frustrating when you can't get your, when you get a kit that is so limited on papers. You know, I was under the understanding that it was, let's see if I can get that. Let me get a bigger piece. I don't mean to confuse you guys, but I want this to, I don't want to get glue down inside my, the portion of, let's just see if this will work. I don't think this is big enough, but this is. Let me cut the end off of this. So basically on mine, because of needing it to match the paper, I'm piecing it, is what it amounts to. And it's still a little short there, so let me cut it again. Okay, now let's try this one more time. You can piece anything. You just have to use your imagination. And I think I'm going to flip it over so that the wood grain will show outside my circle rather than... Okay, now I'm going to glue that down. And on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. And this will make more sense to you when you do it. You're just basically making a cylinder. You're just folding it around, only instead of making it into a circle, you're scoring it on the sides and making it as wide as you want. When I say wide, I mean the narrowest point of this. So this being wide and this being long. And you just glue that down. Now, it doesn't matter how this looks, because this isn't going to be our main thing that you see in the book. I do this a lot, you know, because I don't like to waste. And so I will use scraps and everything else. I hope I'm in camera, guys. I'm sorry if I'm not. I have so much stuff on my desk right now. I wasn't going to do this on video, and I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to do it on video. And I am going to, this thing is not center. For some reason, I just noticed it. That's what happens too when you start piecing stuff. You end up with things not looking quite right. And see, I'm feeling frustrated. Let me get something different. Well, you know what? We're just going to go with it. I'm going to cut it out instead of... I'm just going to cut around. I'm just going to freehand it. Now, you know, that's what people did before they had punches. Right? Okay, it's not perfect, but by the time you ink it, it will be fine. And really, it's lots bigger than you need it to be. But, and that's okay too. You could do any shape on this portion. That is a big hole I just made. But, for some reason... I guess I had my measurement. You know, what can I say? I've had Sadie this morning, and she has not wanted to cooperate with me doing anything. And so I finally just had to put her in the other room for a little bit so I could get something done. I was like, all right, Sadie, it's you or me. Yeah, I don't like that, but you get the point. I'm not going to glue this down because I'm going to remake this with something, I don't know. But you will just punch this with this 1-inch punch or 7/8 punch, and you just punch half of it, and it will look much better because this is pretty big. But I wanted you to see. Now, I'm going to take it to the machine and show you what I mean. hold still for just 1 second and I will, my machine's not in camera, but it's right here where I can show you. I've moved it closer. I'm getting closer to the camera with my machine. All right. Now, you see what I'm talking about here? Now, of course, you'd cut these strings off. And if you want, you can zigzag this onto your book page. Okay? And then you will glue right here, right here, right here. And if you don't zigzag, you'll glue down the bottom, here, here, and down the middle. Okay, bottom, up the center, and you'll glue this bottom portion all the way around. Boom. Okay? Now, if you don't want to put this bottom portion on here, you don't have to. It just seemed easier to me to slide my my tags in and out. And so I'm going to show you what it will look like when you're done, just to refresh your memory. And here is the page next to it. And it's just a cylinder. I'm going to pull one of these out so you can see what it looks like when you have the backing on. See, it gives you a different print back here. And you just slip it into that because this is glued down. So you just slip it right in. So it's basically just an long open cylinder that I scored. And then over here, we've got our tags, and this is glued down after I stitched it. And this is glued down after I stitched it. Yeah, simple, right? Okay, so let me move this out of the way. I'll come back and do this later, but I just wanted to show you guys that. I'm going to find my book. Let me get it here. I don't want to lose my place. I'm going to have to use some solid color cardstock, it looks like, to do this particular thing that I wanted to do to this signature. Okay, oops, hold on. My book wants to slip apart. Both signatures are going to be pretty much alike. But let me show you. I'm going to show you the front. So this is how the book is going to look. And this is a velvet with gold trim, which is why I decided to go with velvet, because this was too much of an orangey red. And I just didn't like it for Christmas. And so it didn't, you know, I didn't like it. So then here is my fabric of the nativity on this side. It's a 2-inch spine. I have 2 signatures. Here's the back. It's the inside. And someone did write inside it, but I'm going to put a library thing inside. So this is how the outside looks. It's going to be beautiful when we're done. Okay, so let's move on to something else that's less confusing. Let's do something maybe a little more simple. Okay, so this is a craft envelope, and I have all my goodies inside here. Let me make sure I'm in camera. My camera's a little higher today, so I can't just look up there. I have to kind of get up a little bit. Okay, now I take my legal size envelopes and I fold in on them and press right here. And then I open them back out and I go in here, you know, because you're going to have one flap here. I go in here and cut this section out. I just do kind of look at this side that's there, and I kind of make the inside look like this outside. So it looks like 2 flaps. But you've got this big opening here, and this is where the binding seam will be. And then I just turn it around and just make a little nick right here and here so that it closes and opens better once it's bound in your book. Okay, so if there's any questions on that, you let me know. It's really simple. Okay, and this outside part looks normal. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I've inked everything. You want to always ink everything with my projects. That's just how I roll. I'm going to go in here and we're going to put paper on the flaps, okay? Let's see. Hope you guys are having a good day. Oh my word, it's been a crazy week for us. And Sadie got her first haircut yesterday. Whew. She did not like doing that. Okay. This one goes over here because you have to look and see what the shape is. I got it turned the wrong direction. Well, maybe it goes over here. It goes over here. Okay. And all I did to cut this out was I laid the paper under here and I just traced around it and just cut on the lines. And so, very simple. You're just covering it to give it some design. Let's do the other one real quick. If I can get my glue to get to the point that I can replace it, I'll be very excited. It still has a lot in it. That's the sad part. You know, it just doesn't want to come down correctly. Okay. All right. Sorry. I think some days I'm clumsier than other days. I tell you, since I turned 60, I told my husband, I think I'm clumsy now. I said, I find myself dropping things and just being more clumsy. He just laughs at me. He says, you're not clumsy. I said, well, I'm dropping everything. So if you open out the flaps, you'll see how it looks. And then we'll turn it over here and we'll fold them down. And it just adds a little bit of nice to it. And I cut little teeny tiny corner tucks for right here. So naturally you just want to put your glue down the left side and the bottom. And very little because these are tiny tucks. If I can get the glue down. You know, it's been half our video trying to get the glue to cooperate. Okay. And I got too much. So let me wipe some off so I'm not wiping it off of the paper as much. I'm sure there'll still be some. Okay. And whatever you're putting here, you want to make sure it's in the upright position as far as the picture. Because afterwards, when you pay attention, you'll be like, I put that totally upside down. Listen, I still do that stuff. And you just want to pull your hair out. Okay. All right, that one's done. Let's do this one. Once we clean the ginormous bubble off the end of the glue. But I just thought the little corner tucks would be cute. I mean, you can treat anything like it's its own little journal, which is what I love about junk journaling. Whoops. See, I'm clumsy. Okay. If I had a day that I wasn't covered in glue, it's like peeling a sunburn. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I can scrub my hands and still have to work to get the glue off. Okay. Now, we're not going to fill the pockets at this very moment, but I'll probably put, you know, some little mini tags in here or something, and then some journaling cards inside. Again, this is for the Christmas storybook. And back here, I just did some very simple pockets, and they're going to go off to the edges so that when you bind the book, there's no interference. Okay? Come on. This crazy thing. I probably will be doing, when I can, my goal is to do more just crafting together, because I you know, just coming up with new projects all the time is hard. I mean, I'm constantly thinking about it, so I plan on doing that. But when I have a new project, we'll just do it during crafting time. But I just feel like, you know, we just need to get together and craft and do like so many of the other videos. You know, they just get together and craft. Because, you know, you just sit down and do it. When I don't have a plan, a lot of times is when I do my best work. And I'm getting the glue off. Give me a moment, because I don't want that all smeared on my envelope. I don't care what I do. I will, if I can put the tiniest amount of glue on there, but I'm still going to have some leak out. Okay. Let's do this other pocket. Whoops. Excuse me, I just almost put it right in the middle. Crazy woman. Well, let's see if I have any more of this. Nope. Well, this will be fine. I just got it a little wet. So let's just dry it real fast. I didn't put a hole in it, but it got a little wet because I got glue right in the middle during one of my clumsy times. I want to make sure it's going to look all right before I put it on the page, because we can always do a different kind of paper. I just kind of wanted them to match a little bit. That's so funny because it's looking fine. Once it's completely dry, we won't even know the difference. Okay. Now, it's still, you know, a little wet, so I'm trying to make sure it's... Let me look in my little 6-inch. I don't know if the 6-inch book will. We could put this because it matches on the other side. I just don't want to give anything to anybody that is not perfect. That's just my motto. So let me cut this real fast. It's going to be a 2-inch. I think I did it at 4. Excuse me, I'm off camera because my table is so crowded. I'll be right back though. And yeah, it is 2-inch. Listen, there are scraps. You name it, there is stuff everywhere on my desk. It's all right. At the end of the day, I have the privilege of cleaning it up. I'm getting low on this one. I might have to break out the new one after this video. Okay. And again, bring it all the way over to the right side. Clean up any excess glue that comes out. I would fall over if I didn't have excess glue. Do you guys feel that way? What I might do in order to make this look more cohesive on this side is put a second little pocket. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is just off the cuff. This is how I do. I just kind of craft and I think about it as I'm going along. Because I don't really like that these two papers are different. They're from the same paper. Because see, there's some stripe there. And here's some of this. So maybe we'll do like a mini pocket in the middle. Just a little. I got to cut this one to the right size first. And it's so tiny that I'm just going to use my scissors. Okay. And kind of do like this, maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking, I don't know if I like that or not. Let me see what's in this little book. We'll see if we've got this paper in the little book. And if we do, I think well, there's the stripe. So we for sure have the stripe in the little book. I've used a lot of this. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I got it at scrapbook.com. Yep, there's some. Okay, that helps. Let me get this out real fast. And let me get the stripe out. I really want it to be just a teeny tiny pocket across there. I didn't like the way that looked. And actually, it could really just be a decorative element as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to cut it at a half inch and just do it as a decorative element. And I'll do them both that way. Sorry, I'm out of camera, guys. You know, my camera will only back out so far for some reason. And so that doesn't help when you're trying to... See, this is my way of measuring right there. I just pinch it and take it over here and cut it. Which sometimes can get you in trouble if you don't know if you've got it right or not, or correct. See, I just think that makes it look a little bit more like I meant to use different colors. Instead of, oh, she screwed up one pocket and she needs to fix it. Which is what I did. So I'm going to ink it real fast. Doesn't have to have a lot, just to take off the white edges. I'm going to have to find some time to get myself to the antique malls. I've been so busy working on making projects and doing videos that I haven't had time to go restock my stuff. You know, lace is always a thing, and vintage books are always a thing. And I told my husband, I said, I'm going to have to break down and get into an antique mall. Like that's a bad thing, but I really don't have time to do that right now, but you do what you got to do, I guess. Okay, sorry guys. I had so much glue on the end of that I couldn't get glue out. I'm just going to put a strip across the middle so that it doesn't leak out everywhere. And I should have flipped the other one over. My fingers are like glued together. That is so funny. I'm not generally a fast working person. I just take my time in everything I do. I'm kind of, I won't want to say laid back, because that's really not the word. Because when I was younger, I was all over the place getting stuff done. I was that person that vacuumed every day. I was that person that, you know, dusted and worked all day and come home and cook supper, and it was just like nonstop. And I was that person that worked late at work and went to work at night and did things that needed to be done. Yeah, that was me. Okay, guys, see how this turned out? I like the way it looks. And we will, now I'm not going to waste our video time decorating tags, because we can do that anytime. Now you can put bigger tags here if you want. And then we'll put journaling cards inside. Inside this side, and then whenever you flip through your book, you'll have these sides show up at different times, and we'll put tags and some stuff on the inside of those. Okay, so one project down. Whew, let's move on to something that's not quite so, well, I've got one I for sure want to show you. Okay, now this is an old book that I wanted to tear apart, and parts of it I did on my own, but it's an old book that I tore apart. See? I don't like this old book, but I like the style, and I wanted to use this as a template. So this is what I would say to you if you want to make this. Just watch what I do here. Basically, you have these things that stick out here to fold under, okay? And they give you a bigger pocket. You fold them under. So you would do it like anything, and then you put one in each corner. And if you notice here, this pocket is bigger than this upper portion, okay? Now, take a good look at this. This is what you see over here after I've folded all these in. But what you do is you can cut any angle on your book and make this. And then the bottom portion will fit your book. Now this out here, these flaps are, you add on extra. And you want to cut them in, okay? Cut them in, cut them in, cut them in. So that when you fold them in, they don't show, but they give you dimension on your pocket. It's kind of like if you wanted to put a hinge on there, and I'm going to hold this up so you can see how it looked before I tore it apart. See? Super simple. Don't let it stress you out. Just put a, you know, like that's less than it's probably, I don't know how much it is, it's 1/2 inch. And then I just, like this one I had to add. So I just cut it at an angle, you know. So, okay, that's what we're going to attempt to do. I have it all cut out, so I'm going to show you how I cut it out. And I cut out some paper, but this is the outside book, okay. And I didn't have enough paper, so I hinged it right there. But this is the inside, this is the outside. Okay. And I love this angel paper. So you see what I did here? I just cut around that template. I inked everything. And so I'm going to fold the bottom up first. And then I'll fold the right and the left side. Okay? And my glue will go on all these that are folded over. Don't get your glue in the middle. Just here, here, and here. Okay? Let's see what happens. This one's going to go on this side. You want to make sure if you use fabric that has an image that you have it upright. See, like that one has angels on it. You want to make sure that you have that part correct. And you definitely want to ink the whole time. You don't want to get everything inked. And again, don't go crazy with the glue so you don't have the glue like spilling over into your pockets. Now, I did glue on that first one so I could fold this one over and then do glue down here. This one upper corner you might want to do a little bit extra, but pretty much. I try to when I do books, I try to come up with something different. You know, I don't like my books to all have the same thing in them every single time. Now, I do tucks and belly bands in all of them because everybody loves tucks and belly bands. Let me make sure you can see. Now, we're just going to take it over as far in this corner as we can and it down as far as we can. And all those flaps are under. And what I really, really like about this is your pockets are going to be much fuller. You know how sometimes you just glue a pocket on, like we did on the envelope, for instance. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Those are flat. So all you can do is slide a flat thing inside. There's no dimension to the pocket. But this is going to have dimension. Look at that. See? Because you have the flaps. Okay, so now let's do the other side. After I wipe off this monument of glue so that I can glue this down without making a total mess. Glue the bottom flap down first. It makes it lots more fun to got too much glue on there. I'm going to wipe some of it off. Mostly because it's coming out like a faucet because all it wants to do is come out. Push that down. Like, oh, it cracks me up. Look at that. See that? I have nightmares over that. I know you all do. I've been like researching other glues. There's just not another one out there that is as good as this one. I looked at fabric glues and, you know, I think that it's probably been looked at by a lot of people. And, yeah, there's no other glue out there that's going to be as good as this one. Because if there were, this glue would be out of my house. So if you come up with one or you ever find one that's better, that glues quickly, let me know. Okay, so you're going to bring it all the way to the corner with your flaps underneath with glue on them and line it up to your book. And press. Perfect. Look how cute. I love that. Okay, now I did do something extra to this one that I didn't do to, that wasn't from the other book. I put this little pocket on the front. Now, this one may not be as, I did not put a flap on the bottom because I was in a hurry. So we're going to see what happens. I think it's going to be fine. It just might not have as much dimension if I can get the glue to come out. Ooh, and it came out. Leaps and bounds. This glue is going in the trash after this video. We are having a burial. I mean, it's over there even making noise. Okay, now I got to wipe my finger off because it is covered in the glue. Sorry, guys. You do what you got to do. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the glue on the bottom. Of course I did. Now that the glue's everywhere. This one, this pocket, I really am doing more for decorative purposes, okay? I may or may not put anything in this pocket. Okay, so you want to push this side down. Make sure your flaps are under. And put it on the front of your book. I see that's fine too. You wouldn't want to put a ton of stuff in the front of the book anyway. So it glued down just fine. And it will work just fine. It's amazing to me the number of things, now that I do junk journals, it's amazing to me the different things that you can make out of paper, you know, that I never thought of doing before. Okay, so the very next thing, and I probably will put a small tag in the front, but I'm not going to worry about it right now, or maybe even a little bag. I don't know if this little bag will fit. Yeah, we'll come up with something. All right, so I'm going to flip this open. I have my paper here. I am going to stitch my paper down the middle. I'm going to get it centered. You can see where this was this part of the same paper that, let me make sure it's not going to stick up at the top. No, it's not. And they had sewed it so bad and off. You can see how off it is from the score line. And I'm going to try to fix that. And I'm just scooting my chair over to the side. I can still talk to you. And I'm going to run a stitch down the middle of this. Be 1 second. If I can keep it centered, that's the trick. Let me make sure. Okay. I think they have people just set and mass produce stuff like, you know, like those books. Whoops. Let me put it on straight stitch. Okay. Now I am using maroon in this book. So there we go. All right, sorry guys, but I didn't want to not stitch that while I had the opportunity. Now you can see how it looks with the book in the middle. Cute, right? And it's straight, which is a miracle. And hopefully this paper, because it had been stitched before, is not a problem. Okay, I'll trim all those off later, but I just wanted to show you how it looks. How it looks in the middle. Almost got my pocket right there. Oh, and I've got strings up here. I'll have to fix all that. I'll pull them out. And then I'm going to ink. I always ink, just so you know, because when you stitch paper, it always pulls the white guts out of the paper. And I will always go and ink over that because I don't like it to look like the paper's tearing. Because it really isn't. It's just, you know, where the needle broke through. So there, that's way better already. And so there we go. All right, project number 2. All right, let me see how much time we have. We could do one more small thing. Let me think. Which one do we want to do? Which one? Let's see. Let's just do some simple stuff. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this bag inside the book like a tippin'. So I will hinge it under here like we hinged that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with hinging, but let me show you. Okay, you will take a piece of paper that is 1 inch wide. You fold it in half long ways, and you glue one part down here. Okay, and you want to fix it where the score line is on this side, and you glue the one part here, and then you glue that other side to your book, and it just hinges out and opens, and under here you can journal, have some private journaling space without any problem. Okay, so I have this vintage little nativity. I'm trying to decide if I want to put this part up, and I folded this sack up, okay? It was a gift sack, a white gift sack that you get over at Hobby Lobby in the craft section. So I'm just going to put, because it was so long, I wanted it to be down, and I think I'm going to do it like this and just put it here, and then I might run some gold across here. Okay, so let's glue this down. This is not going to be a pocket. This is just going to be to decorate the pocket. If I can get the glue to come out of the bottle. I tell you what, this glue is not cheap either. I have researched a lot of different places to buy it, and it's still cheaper with your coupon at Hobby Lobby. Even Amazon. Amazon's small bottle is as much as Hobby Lobby's large bottle. Makes no sense to me, but it's a fact. Okay. This, like I said, came out of a vintage book, and I know I cut it up, but I wanted to use it. I wanted to be able to put it in my book for whoever gets it to have, you know, it was like in a children's crafting book. And I actually am using several nativity things out of a children's crafting book on tags and so forth. Yes, leak out of there, glue, leak out front and center. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to glue this band, and I have inked everything again. Come out of there. It's blowing air at me right now. Okay. I think maybe it's not going to be on there okay. So gold is the shiny color for this book. Basically, either washi or ribbon. If I use washi, I always glue my washi down. Never put your washi on without using a really strong glue stick, not just a school days one, like one that's really strong, because washi will come out if you don't after a very short period of time. So I've got this gold. I think that's 2 gold. Let's see if I've got the gold washi, and I'll show you how I do it. I don't know if I have it even out. I did, but I think somebody ate it or something. So let's use ribbon. I can find my gold ribbon. And hopefully I have enough on this particular row. Yeah, I do. If I can get the glue to cooperate while I do it. I kid you not, look at this, guys. It has gone nuts. I've wiped it off and wiped it off, and it's like running down the side. I've never had one be this bad before. Look at that. Woo. But I'm not giving up. I'm not giving into it till I'm done with this project. And then it probably will shoot out about 2 tablespoons on my project. Okay. All right, and then what we'll do is glue the pockets down. Now I would let the ribbon dry before I try to cut it off the ends, just because, you know, your scissors will get nasty if you don't. Like mine aren't already nasty. Okay, so we're going to glue the inside of the bag on the sides here and here. As soon as I wipe off this glue, so I can get some out without... Okay. These are the last two little pieces of glue I'm using. We will be having a funeral service for the Fabri-Tac after this video. Okay, now, see, it's coming out everywhere, but that's okay. There we go. All right, and of course, it won't have this. We'll put a hinge on the left side, and we'll put it on the left side of a book page. And let me see if I have my book pages anywhere close, and I don't know what happened to them. I'll have to find them. But anyway, you just hinge it right here with a folded over piece of paper. You glue it to the top hinge, and you glue the bottom side to your paper, and it will hinge open. Or you can use washi, whichever you prefer. You can make a giant journaling tag, or you can put sheet music, or you can put whatever you want inside there. Candy canes, you name it. It can work. All right, guys, that's project 3, project 2, project 1. And believe it or not, I had several others, but we'll see how that goes in the future. All right, hope you guys have a good day. Please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Hope you had fun crafting. Bye.